Hey everybody, and welcome back. I think as a society, we got to first come to an understanding about something. Just because you have a camera and a microphone does not make you an investigator, does not make you a reporter. Unless you have the skills and the technique to do a proper investigation, just going around taking pictures, videos, and making uninformed comments does not make you a reporter or an investigator. And of course, I'm referring to that cringe, loser, MAGA influencer that supposedly uncovered crazy fraud in Minnesota with the Somali daycare centers. He's a cosplay. That's all he does. He's pretending to be something he's not. And a lot of MAGA influencers out there are just as stupid as him. Cosplay, pretend that they know what's going on, that they know the truth, that they're doing a deep dive, and they're investigating, and they're uncovering things that no one else could possibly uncover except for them. It's embarrassing, it's shameful, it's disgusting, and I can't believe it went viral, but I'm really not surprised because of who's the type of people like himself who think what he's doing is patriotic. It doesn't take much to take apart his investigation. CNN, I know you people don't like CNN, but even the questions they asked were simple, not complicated questions, and he didn't even have the answers to it. So let's take a look and let's take apart more of his investigation, and we'll go from there.
Trump administration says it is now withholding all federal child care funding to the entire state. The agency says the state receives $185 million for 19,000 children, and now that money will be gone. And the agency did not specify any alternate plans for families who will be affected. DHS and the FBI said they were surging resources to Minnesota to investigate what they called suspected fraud sites. This all comes in response to a viral video posted by a MAGA content creator. He claims that he uncovered widespread fraud by Somali-run child care centers in the state. CNN is looking into those claims and has not independently verified the accusations. But the Deputy Secretary of Health and Human Services is taking the allegations at face value. Take a listen.
Intrepid journalists have made shocking and credible allegations of extensive fraud in Minnesota's child care programs. We believe the state of Minnesota has allowed scammers and fake daycares to siphon millions of taxpayer dollars over the past decade. Starting today, we require a justification, receipt, or photo evidence before we make a payment.
What are we doing? See how this guy investigated journalists. He assumed, or he's taking this guy, this MAGA influencer, as a journalist. What qualifications does he have? What past stories has he broken? He's not a journalist. Guys, stop calling these losers journalists. If I go out with a camera and a microphone and I start breaking stories, I'm not a journalist. I don't have any history behind me, any criteria, any experience. Just because I break one story doesn't make me a journalist.
Those so-called evidence comes from a man who has posted anti-Muslim and anti-immigrant content in the past. CNN's Whitney Wild speaks to the man behind that video and takes a look at his claims.
We're from CNN. Can we talk to you? This is MAGA YouTuber Nick Shirley. Back at a daycare in Minnesota, he alleged was a fraudulent facility in a now viral video.
People are going to say this is a left or right issue, but no, fraud is fraud. And so I'm not out here trying to put a twist on things.
Shirley's viral video, released over the weekend, in which he says he's uncovering tens of millions of dollars in fraud at Minneapolis daycares run by the Somali community, was retweeted by Elon Musk and Vice President J.D. Vance. In the video, Shirley tries to open locked doors and talk to people at various daycares he claims are frauds.
Did you come during their normal operating hours when you came to visit?
I came at 11 a.m., I believe, and I also came the following day later in the day. The point of it is not whether or not I came at the right time of their operation hours. The point is that blacked out doors, they can't give you any information. You call that number, no one answers. I wasn't trying to go inside, and there should be a way for somebody to actually be able to call that number and somebody be able to answer. These aren't real businesses.
But surely you don't think a daycare should just be unlocked. You shouldn't be able to just walk into a
There
daycare.
should be a reception.
No, every daycare is locked.
Their doors are locked. If
And
you go
so,
to a public
okay,
school or
you bring up a fair
private
point.
school,
Then
you
why
can
can't they
use a
actually
public
give me
school
information how to enroll a child?
Of course, Elon Musk and JD Vance, both knuckle dragging mouth breathers, retweeted something that they have resources to figure out if it's true or not. Back to this idiot. Of course the window's blacked out. They don't want people staring into a building that has underage children. As a parent, I don't want that. Any parent out there doesn't want that. You, MAGA, talk about how there's sex trafficking. Don't even want that. And you coming at 11 a.m. and then later in the day, the next following day, why not stay there? I can't believe I don't want to give you guys, you idiots, ideas and harass these daycare centers. But an actual investigator would stay there all day through the week just to verify if there's any activity. How stupid are you not to know the basics of an actual investigation? Just because you showed up at one time and another time 2 different days does not mean there's no activity. And as he says, why can't I go in? Again, daycare, it's locked. They don't want losers like you or people that are worse than you coming into a building full of children. Basic security. And a number, how many times did you call that number? One time, and just because they didn't pick up, therefore there's nobody there? Did you verify the number? Did you call multiple times? Did you get other people to call? Again, how is this guy an investigator, a journalist?
Has been investigating fraud in Minnesota for several years. Both Attorney General Pam Bondi and FBI Director Kash Patel said on social media they've indicted dozens of defendants. DHS has posted multiple videos of agents they say are conducting a massive fraud investigation.
Do you think that federal law enforcement hasn't done enough? I mean, they would say, look, these fraud cases have been going on, but they've already done like 80 indictments. The cases have been going on, for years.
And why did I show up one day in Minnesota and go to all these daycares, no children? They're receiving millions of dollars. We uncovered nearly $110 million in fraud in one day.
How do you know that all the allegations that you're making are true?
How do I know that they're true? Well, we showed you guys what was happening, and then you guys can go ahead and make your own analysis.
We're coming so we can make our own analysis. Are you 100% sure you're true?
Yeah, I am 100% sure I'm true.
Okay, where do we even begin? So Pam Bondi and Kash Patel, head of FBI and Department of Justice. You're telling me those two people with all the resources didn't uncover what you did? You, some random guy, influencer with a camera and a mic, uncovered $100 million of fraud when the actual department of the FBI and the United States government couldn't uncover that? That's insane. That's still not good. That means that they're incompetent, which I believe, but not that incompetent. They've been investigating fraud. They've made indictments. They've arrested people. You coming with your camera and your mic has added nothing to the situation in terms of finding more fraud. You've done nothing but fan the flames of bigotry and racism. But that's your channel. That's who you are. That's what MAGA is. And the Republicans, the state Republicans in Minnesota, been sounding the alarm of fraud for years. You guys don't want to fund daycare. You guys want the daycare system, the publicly funded daycare system that's that the current governor, Tim Walz, that he's failed. So you can go to say, see, It should be privatized. Government funding shouldn't be used because it's nothing but frauds. And you guys don't want to fund daycares because you guys, as Republicans, want women to stay home with the kids. You don't want them to go to work to provide, because then you got losers like this guy who can't find a woman because he brings nothing to the table because he's a loser. How is he going to find a woman that could take care of herself, that has funding to bring her child to daycare so she can go work and fend for herself? You guys, losers, MAGA, want women to be helpless and to rely on loser men like this MAGA influencer. That's why you want it to fail. That's the only reason why it's gone viral. That's the only reason why Trump has canceled funding, federal funding for all the states, not just Minnesota, but for every state in the U.S., because you want women to stay home with the kids. And losers like this to be able to find women because they have to rely on men now. Oh man, what a bunch of losers. Anyways, that's it for me. You guys take care. We'll talk later.